Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Thupten Torji, and homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today. Namo Medicine Tathagata of the Eastern Lapis Lazuli realm. Sumo. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And all participating VIPs today are Madam to Ambassador Daniel Liao, the Taipei rep to Sweden and Norway. And the law advisor to True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou. And accountant to True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa. Dr. Su Lin. And Dr. Louis Lee and Madam. Dr. Ryan Zhuang. Producers for the TV programs from CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
Thank you for coming. 每一个人。那么今天我们是同修要摄着立光如来。
So today we had the group practice of medicine Tathagata. Actually, there are many Buddhists or scholars who hold the opinion that medicine Tathagata of the Eastern Lapis Lazuli realm is the same as the Akshobha Buddha of the East. So the same body with different names. So the Akshobha Buddha of the East and Medicine Buddha of the Eastern Lapis Lazuli realm are actually the same, because both are on the east. So therefore, they believe that Medicine Buddha and Akshobha Buddha are of the same body with different names. Akshobha Buddha of the five Dhyani Buddhas. And five Dhyani Buddhas have different names in the Vajradhatu Mandala and the Dharmadhatu Mandala. So there are many Buddhas who have different names, but actually they are the same. So the Dharmadhatu Mandala or the womb mandala is the ground of cause. So the Buddha's names or epithet are based on the ground, the causal ground. And the Vajradhatu Mandala is for the resultant ground. So in the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra, there are many names of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Like what we just recited for the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra. There are many Buddha's names and epithets. For example, the Buddha's name Ding Guang Fo, from the Bai Yi Jing Guang Zhang Fo, and then Ding Guang Fo, which is the fixed light Buddha. So that Buddha's epithet is actually the same as Dipamkara. So they have different epithets or different names, but they're actually the same Buddha. So in the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra, it was mentioned about the Buddhas of the three periods. The Buddhas of the past, or the fixed light Buddha, that's the same as Dipamkara. And the present Buddha is Sakyamuni Buddha. And the future Buddha is Maitreya Buddha. So prior to Buddhahood, he was referred as Maitreya Bodhisattva. He also have many names. So Maitreya Bodhisattva was also called the Bodhisattva with compassion, 慈氏 in Chinese, and that's actually the future Buddha. So there are, the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra includes the Buddhas of the three times. So that's why it includes all Buddhas of the three times in the 10 directions. They're all inside the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra. And Medicine Buddha's Pure Land is called the Lapis Lazuli realm. And the Lapis Lazuli is the most beautiful. Nowadays, so actually, sometimes we refer to the glassware as lapis lazuli, but there should be a difference. Like in the shops in Taiwan, they use the glassware actually made of glass, but it's slightly different from the typical glass. And they make statues of Buddhas and Kuan Yin Bodhisattvas, and they call it Liu Li. So what is the difference between the glass and the Liu Li? In this case is the Liu Li term that's being used in Taiwan, which is different from the lapis lazuli of the medicine Buddha. So any masters, Dharma teachers reference that know the difference between glass and Liu Li? What is the difference between just glass and what they call liu li? Oh, liu li is like padete verde?
不过我是这样子哦，玻璃是人做的，琉璃也是人做的。
They're man-made, but both of them, both glass and liu li, are man-made.
这所有的金银铜铁器物们，全部
So all the metals like gold, silver,
其实都是天然的。
zinc, aluminium, they're all mined. So and processed.
为什么不叫玻璃，叫琉璃？
But why?
说琉璃跟玻璃，
What is the difference between glass and liu li?
啊，这很聪明哦，很聪明。其实琉璃是卖的贵一点。
Oh, because liu li is more expensive. That's the only difference.
哦，你看还是那个看网路的啦。
So they check on the internet.
这边是说哈，维基百科啦，琉璃哦，它是中国古代对于来自于西域一种宝石的称呼。一般的意义上呢，琉璃也指人造的琉璃，它是一种具有
Liu li,
表面的烧制的建筑装饰。
it's also a man-made glass. It's actually the same as glass. So it doesn't answer.
好了，玻璃就是琉璃，琉璃就是玻璃。
So liu li actually is like glass.
事实上，琉璃好像是真的讲的是比较贵哦。
But it is really more expensive.
一块这样子哦，
Like a piece like this.
算百万的哎。
Sometimes it reaches millions
琉璃算百万。
of NT dollars. There is a translation that they use lazurite, Lazurite, or colored glaze.
其实玻璃就是跟琉璃一样的。维基百科说的。
So according to Master Lian Wang, according to Wikipedia, actually it's about the same.
炼出来以后，这样子一尊的佛像要上百万。
But why is liu li cost so much?
好，那换你讲。哦。哎，你来这里讲。一定要搞清楚这个。
We have to clarify the difference.
是刚刚丽丽是在手机上面她找到解答，但是因为她不敢讲，叫我讲，但是我的广东国语希望你们听得懂。
Reverend Lily found it on the internet, but she didn't want to come up and say. But she asked me to speak.
不同的金属，让它产生化学的变化。
So actually liu li and glass are the same, but in liu li they use different kinds of glaze or coloring. So that's why it would generate more different colors. But calling it glass, it's so ordinary, so they call it liu li. And because it's like colored glass, so many people like it. So that's why it's more expensive.
哦，所以维基百科是错误的。
So the Wikipedia was wrong.
你看维基百科里面所写的东西，玻璃就是琉璃，其实是
saying that glass is liu li.
说的矿物质
So inside the glass, they add a lot of minerals to create different colors. So the making process also different. So when we say the Pure Land of the Eastern Lapis Lazuli, we should not say the Eastern Glass Realm because they are different. Because liuli is liuli and glass is glass. And in the sutras, it was mentioned that the Eastern Lapis Lazuli realm and the Western Atmos Bliss realm, or the Western Paradise, they are equally magnificent and exquisite. So we cannot say that everyone longs to be reborn into the Western Paradise. You can also go to the Eastern Paradise of Medicine Buddha. They are both the same exquisite, similarly exquisite. If you can go to the Pure Land, and if you are in the Pure Land, you can go to any realm. As we know, Vairocana Buddha, or Buddha Lokana, Sakyamuni Buddha, these three Buddhas, the Dharmakaya or Dharma body is Vairocana Buddha, and the Sambhogakaya is Buddha Lokana, and the Nirmanakaya is Sakyamuni Buddha. So although the Buddha's epithets are different, but Buddha Lokana and Sakyamuni Buddha and Vairocana Buddha are equal in essence. So Buddha's name or epithet, Dharmakaya, Vairocana Buddha, Sambhogakaya, Buddha Lokana, Nirmanakaya, Sakyamuni Buddha. So these three Buddhas are of the same Buddha's essence, emanated from the same Buddha. So that's the concept in Buddhism. So there are many Pure Lands like Avatamsaka Pure Land. It's the same. Once you've got to a Pure Land, with one thought you can go to any other Pure Lands. It was mentioned in the Amitabha Sutra. So you make an offering of lotus into the Pure Lands of the 10 directions. Once you arrive at the Pure Land, with joy, with one thought, you can make offering of lotus and go to any Pure Lands. So the Pure Lands are all interconnected, and the Buddhas are also interconnected. So the Pure Land of the Eastern Lapis Lazuli realm of Medicine Buddha and the Western Atmos Bliss realm of Amitabha Buddha are both remarkable, beautiful, and peaceful and harmonious. So when we practice Medicine Buddha's Dharma, You cannot say that, oh, I don't want to practice medicine Buddha because then I would go to the Eastern realm. So I would be saying goodbye to all other fellow disciples because I'm going to the East and the rest is going to the West. But no, that's not the case. Although you've gone to the Eastern realm, but with one thought, you want to go to the Western realm, then you would be there. So actually, it's all together, all the same. So in the flower ornament world, they're all Pure Lands. So they're all the same. So it doesn't mean that if you practice medicine Buddha, you cannot go to the Western paradise. Or vice versa. Once you get to the Western paradise, you cannot go to the Eastern paradise. That's not the case. So Maha, double lotus ponds, and the true Buddha realm, and the perfect connected realm, Yuan Tong, of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. And Kuan Yin Bodhisattva also has many other Pure Lands. This Mount Buddhaloka in the South Sea is also one of his Pure Lands, or the Pure Land of Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, the jade, the beautiful jade Pure Land, or the Maitreya Buddha's Pure Land, Tushita Heaven, and the Sanzai youth on his 53 contemplation went to the Pure Land of Maitreya Buddha and found that it's a tremendously majestic Pure Land. And Medicine Buddha had made a vow that any sentient beings with sicknesses praying to Medicine Buddha will have their sicknesses be alleviated. Because in this Saha world, we are either sick in our body or in our minds. Sick in bodies can be saved by medicine. All kinds of medicines and progressive medical science can save the physical or bodily sicknesses, but the mental sicknesses would be truly pathetic, pitiful. It's very difficult to alleviate and save them because the problems is in their minds. No medicine can save them. Unless you study Buddhism and you rely on your spiritual cultivation in order to alleviate the mental sicknesses. Or emotional problems. This is very important. Because ailments of the body can be cured with medicines, but the mental or the ailments of the mind cannot be cured with medicine. You have to rely on your own mind to cure your mind. So it depends whether you're enlightened or not. Some people, they would go to company or organization and finds that
几乎每一个
from
人
top to bottom
你都感觉到有敌意这个
are
自己的上司对我
hostile
有
toward
自己的
you.
上司
You find that everybody from top to bottom are hostile toward you.
雇员也对
The
我有
top
敌意
boss, the direct boss, your colleagues, or your subordinates, you found them all have hostile feelings toward
你
you.
又花钱
So you leave this company and you go to a different
所
company.
有人都对我有敌意
And still you
我再
find
换
you find that everybody is hostile toward you. So wherever you go, you find the same situation.
我告诉大家，你在一个单位如果不
So let me tell
不
you,
合群的话，
if you don't blend
你到
in
任何一个
in
单位，
any
到世界
group,
任何一个单位，
in a group,
甚至于
then it
在
doesn't
某个
matter
净土
whichever group you go to, whichever group you go to on earth or in the Pure Lands, it would be impossible for you
本来沙
to
婆
be
世
in
界
harmony with
有
them,
人的地方
because
就有
that means you're sick. Because wherever you are in the Saha world, as long as
不
there's
能因为
a person, then there would be
你就因义会
problems of true and false.
我最近听说有人
So
认为
don't
西
be
雅图雷藏
because you're sick.
都对他不好，所以他不来。
There's someone
后来西雅
recently
图雷藏时
that doesn't want to come to the Seattle temple because the reference at the Seattle temple
是一样的，
are not good to her.
通通都排斥。
So, well, in that case, why don't you go to Rainbow Temple? Well, they're the same too. So then she stopped studying Buddhism, stopped cultivating
这
spiritually.
种这种念头是不对的，
So that kind of
是你自己
thinking
本身不对
is wrong.
不是
So you are the one
不是
that's
西雅图雷
wrong,
藏是不对，不是禅
not the reference that are wrong, not the Seattle temple or the Rainbow temple that are wrong, but your
要
mindset,
改的是你
your
自己
thought is wrong. So you have to change yourself first.
虽然每一个道场都是有是非的，没有一个道场
Although
没有是非。
at any spiritual centers there are problems and
到别的道场去看看，
rumors, gossips, true and false.
又跑另外一个道场，
So if you find Seattle Temple is like that, then you go to other place, other spiritual centers, all the same. Because I've said it clearly that as long as there is a human being, then there would be
我常常
problems.
看到独居老人，独居老人很苦。现在
Like in a family
独居老人
now
我也有很多独居
in Taiwan and as well as in America, there are many elderlies who live alone.
他也
They live all by themselves.
两个人，那更苦，
They suffer. But if they live together with
更加的
two people live together or three people live together, they would be even more miserable.
我们以前有念过一个和尚，
We have said this before. One
这
monk
个怎么样子？挑水吃，
carrying
和尚怎么
or getting a bucket of water.
一个和尚有水吃，两
One monk has some water to drink.
三个和
And
尚
with two monks, you can
是非就是这样子嘛。
you
就人家
fight
都
for
会讲
water,
话
and with three monks, there would be no water to drink. So that's how
跟一个小孩
problem is. So an elderly, a horse,
跟一
and a
个
child,
跟一个他的孩子，三个。
or his son.
我讲这个就是一个比喻啊，
This is as an analogy, as we all know,
匹马两个，
a horse with two people.
你看吗？老头子坐在上面，
So if the old man is sitting on the horse, people would say,
旁边的人就讲话，你看
See, look, this old man is so shameless. He lets the son walk holding on the horse, and the old man has no compassion at all toward the child. So when the old man heard that, he got off the horse and let the son, the child, sit on top of right on the horse. And then people say, hey, you know, this child, you know, how can he sit on top of the horse and has no filial piety toward his father? And then the old man took the child down from the horse, and both of them walk on the ground. And then there are people that still say, that's so dumb. How could they, two people walking on the ground holding the horse, and they don't know how to ride a horse? So both of them ride on the horse, and then some people still say that, are you trying to kill the horse doing that? So it doesn't matter what you do. There would be voices, there would be noises. People would say something. So you need to know that when there's a human being, then there would be this problems of true and false. So you need to be enlightened in order to see through it. Then only then you would be able to overcome your problems of the mind. So Sakyamuni Buddha or medicine Buddha can cure or alleviate the sicknesses of the body and the mind. So in order to alleviate the problems or the sicknesses of the mind, you want to be enlightened to the ultimate truth. Then your heart and mind would be wide open. Then your world will be wide open. Otherwise, it would be very hard to be harmonious. Why are there so many divorces? Because even just two people, they cannot get along well. They cannot be harmonious. So if you're smart, then you want to be a monk. But don't think that being a monk has no problems or worries. In the Sangha group, has so many problems and worries that let you your heart die and let other people's hearts die, and after you die you live again. There are more problems, there are more worries to be monks and nuns in the Sangha group. So you need to understand, to be enlightened to this, and you need to take things lightly, to be very happy and open-hearted. You know, if you make a mistake, then you repent. Is there anything to be so embarrassed? There's no face to save. So if it's an issue of a face, where should you go? Maybe it's best for you to go to Bhutan. And you can't even live there because there are many people living there too. Or you can go deep into the mountain in Bhutan to live all by yourself. Then you only have the skin of your face and the skin of the tree trunk, of the bark of the tree trunk. There is no face to talk about. Because one day the face will also be gone. What is it to be holding up? What is it to be hung up on? There's no need to hang up on it. Because of face, there are wars in the world. So as a human being, you want to see through all this. and to look beyond all this and to look at lightly. So Medicine Buddha can cure the sicknesses of our body and our mind. You should read more sutras, gain enlightenment, and to resolve your problems. And as Buddhists, you cannot worry so much about true and right and wrongs. You cannot say that, oh, the temple, this temple, Seattle temple is not good, or Rainbow temple is not good, so I don't want to go there. It's you yourself that have problems. It doesn't matter what. You would have your own friends, or friends, or people that would be friendly to you. The skillful means of stopping zeal to move life. Perform the complete 9 postures of quiet contemplation. Sorry. So practice the 9 posture of quiet contemplation and block the right nostril and breathe through the left nostril. Then breathe normally. And after you rise to meditation from this practice, you gradually increase the zealous qi. So the exited mind is long, the entering mind is short, the abiding mind is internal. The rise in meditation is due to the life qi in the beginning, and the mind is thinking of the breathing, goes in, stays inside, and goes out. When one performs the vajrayana, visualize Om, Ah, and Hum. Sorry about this, I missed a part. So in our breathing practice, inhalation and exhalation is just a convenient method. Our goal is not on the qi, but in order to achieve meditation, we practice the qi of breathing. It's because by only practicing the breathing, you can enter into meditation. So, why do you want to practice qi? Because only by practicing qi you can enter into true meditation. So, practicing qi is the skillful means or convenient method to enter into meditation. And here it talks about the vajra chanting. You breathe in the Om 6 syllable from the universe during inhalation, and to let it enter into the lower dantian or the middle dantian, to go into the lower dantian. And after you breathe in, you hold the breath, and during this abiding, the 6 syllable becomes Ah inside. And hold it for a while. And as you exhale the breath, the 6 syllable becomes Hum. And you exhale the qi. So principally, long inhalation and short exhalation. And the holding the breath or abiding is as long as possible. So you visualize first the 6 syllable and the color of the qi. So the entering Om is white, the abiding Ah is red, and the exiting or exhaling home is blue. So, and because you're in full concentration and continually repeating the breathing in, abiding, breathing out, breathing in, staying, breathing out, breathing in, staying, breathing out, and you visualize and focus, and you're in concentration, and all of a sudden you enter into meditation.
你以这个专一的瑜伽，然后进入三昧地，专一才能够进入三昧地。
Only when you're totally focused in concentration, you can enter into samadhi. So, in Amitabha Sutra, it talks about concentration, single-mindedness. So how do you do that? It's by breathing, so that your mind is not scattered. Otherwise, when you chant the Buddha's name or recite the sutra, often there would be thoughts that's distracting. As you chant and chant, all of a sudden you think of something. If your mind is always on the inhalation, the white Om, to the Dantian, then it becomes a red R, and then you hold the breath. And as you exhale it, it becomes home. And you continually practice it, then your mind will be concentrated or would be focused. And why do we want to perform 9 cycle of the 9 cycle Buddha breathing? Is to let you be focused. So that's the yoga of concentration. Once you can reach the concentration, here at the brow point, there are the 1,000-petal lotus. It's the place for light drops, or it's called body chakra. Once you're in full concentration at the upper Dantian, which is the body chakra, or the 1,000-petal lotus at the brow point, after long-term practice, the Dharma flow of the universe will enter into your body. And through your spiritual cultivation, by holding the breath, you would be able to ignite the inner fire, and the inner fire rises to burn the body chakra, and the light drops, body chakra will melt and the light drops will drip. So then you can use it to descend, ascend, holding and distribute or disperse. So by using this, you would be able to increase the meditation. So in, out, and hold. So inhalation long and the exhalation short, and then the holding is inside. So the chi enters, and the chi stays or abides as you hold your breath, and then you exhale or exit. So after long-term practice, you would be able to hold your breath for 2 minutes. If you can do that, that means you have trained really well in concentration. And before you exhaling the qi, you want to visualize that the qi reaches all other parts of the body, which I will talk about in the future. So first, you should train in the 9-cycle Buddha breathing. That's fine. Or in performing Vajra chanting, you visualize Om during an inhalation, Ah during the abiding, and Hom during exhalation. And this will rise to meditation that gradually increases one's life energy or qi, and you use your mind to inhale the qi long and to hold the qi internally and to exhale the qi shortly. So more qi being inhaled and less qi being exhaled, then you would live a longer life. But if it's the other way, then you would have a shortened life. So if you breathe in less and breathing out more, then your life will be shortened, and vice versa. But sometimes it's like this. Depending on the function or how the function of the qi that you use. So like just prior to the inner fire being generated, then you breathe in a lot and breathing out a little bit. But during the ignition of the inner fire, it would be the other way around. But normally, it's long in and short out. And when we breathe, it should be fine, long, and slow. You know why turtles live to be 240 years? Turtles are really long-lived. Why? Because turtles breathe 4 times in 1 minute. So 4 times a minute. How about human beings? So as spiritual cultivators, we should breathe deeply, frequently. We should frequently perform deep breathing. As you breathe in the qi, it should reach to your soles, to all over your body. Then that would be the breathing of spiritual cultivators. Typical mundane beings, they would breathe just to the throat and out. But for sadhaka, the breathing should at least reach the lower dantian, or at least the heart chakra. So as spiritual cultivators or sadhaka, you want to breathe in until the breath reaches the lower dantian. And you need to train all the time or normally. So that's why it's very good to breathe deeply, to perform the deep breathing. And it's extremely great here in Seattle, but not in Taiwan. Do you practice breathing in Taiwan? Yes. Then how is it? Well, the more you practice, the more short-tempered you become. Because what you breathe in is the air polluted with PM 2.5, and then you would get allergy. So there are many people like that after they got to Taiwan. They come back and they can't stop coughing and allergic, and Simu too. It's fine in Seattle, but allergic in Taiwan. And during the last month, I also have some allergy in my throat. And anybody else? Many. Yan Ye. And Xin. there are many people who went to Taiwan and then they become sensitive. So that's why the air is very important, because human beings need three things: sunshine, air, and water. And what is the sunshine for? It's for, what's that called? The solar energy with you and also with the plants, the chlorophyll, what is it called? Not oxidation. So, like as human beings, we want to be in the sun. Maybe not directly, maybe with an umbrella, but you have to be outside. Or photosynthesis. So for human beings, animals, and plants, we need some photosynthesis. So sunshine, air, and water, they are all very important. And look at the water in Seattle. You can drink it directly from the tap. I don't need to buy bottled water, but in Taiwan, I would need bottled water. But in Seattle, I would just drink the water directly. And the air is really good, very clear, no PM 2.5. So breathe in as much as you can. But if you go to Taiwan, you can't even breathe. And they always tell us to close all the doors and windows, and it's always in danger zone. So if you go outdoor, it's the same as going into the poisonous room, toxic room. You know, the danger zone, like purple color. And then the red, danger, and orange, there's still smokes and pollutants. And then yellow and the green is pretty clear. And there was only one day that was green. And because it was a Taiwanese Labor Day and everybody was on a break. And the coal-generated electric power company was on vacation. But look at Seattle's air, it's so good. I mean, it would be nicer if we can wrap it and bring it to Taiwan. So we are the Qi practitioner, breathing practitioner, because by practicing Qi or breathing, you can enter into meditation because of the concentration. When you're totally serene and tranquil. So when your breathing is tranquil, then your mind is also tranquil. And then you can enter into concentration, and then you can enter into meditation. So this is thus the convenient means in our spiritual cultivation. And in Tantric Buddhism, we talk about practicing the Qi. So in Taiwan, they ask to always stay in a closed room. But you still need air to breathe. So what kind of air is it? It's still the air from outside. It's still the poisonous air, the polluted air, the toxic air. So the Chinese Medical College professor, she graduated from the Chinese Medical College and then became a professor at the college. She said that the respiratory allergy and cancer has increased,
药物研究， 所以台湾
has doubled
真的
or tripled in Taiwan.
好。
So Taiwan is really
广州持续的高温，有位记者采访市民，问一个黑人：“你是广州热？”
广州。
他说：“你说是广州热还是非洲热？”
A reporter from Guangzhou asked a black person, "Is it harder in Guangzhou or harder in Africa?" And I have explained this last year. Let me explain it again. I didn't come from Africa. I just become so tan in Guangzhou. So Grandmaster and Smu are very smart. Because in the summer, we are in Seattle, and in winter, we go to Taiwan. But nowadays, the air in Taiwan in the winter time is all the same. It's really bad. Let me tell you, you can be really kind, but don't relax your cautions in this world, because some human beings are not human. We often say, this is play of words in Chinese. After you get a mental illness, that your spirits got better. This is also a play of words in Chinese. So a human being always have some ailments or sickness. Strange joke. My girlfriend is called Zhu Jin. And the first time I brought Zhu Jing come to my home at the village. This is also play of words of Chinese. This is a misunderstanding. But it also, Zhu Jin is the name of the girlfriend, but also means that coming in to live. And the mom said, well, just kick her out. Well, this is only meaningful in Chinese. The husband is in a bad mood, and by himself, he drank wine by himself. And the wife asked, so what's going on? And the husband replied, come on, I just want, I want to be, I want quiet. And the wife slapped his cheek and said, who is quiet? This is also like, sound like a girl's name. And the husband replied, in life, sometimes it's hard to be just all by himself, you know. But in Chinese, it's also play of words in Chinese. A young couple went to the court for marriage, and they just asked, what's your names? One is called Lin A Ping, the other one is called Lin A Mei. And the court clerk says, aren't you related? Because the names are just with one word difference. And then they look at each other. And the man and the woman look at each other and said, Are you related? But in Chinese also, that means have you had? Are you in relationships? And then they said, well, twice.
不要以为说自己就是对的，有时候你要替别人想一想，然后再这个。
Don't always think that you're right. Sometimes you want to think of other people before you think of yourself.
书架上拿了一本书来问道。
The pharmacist went to the bookstore and took a book and asked the employee, "Is this book good?" And the employee replied, "I don't know. I never read it."
那个药剂师就问了。
And the pharmacist asked,
你在卖书，自己没有读过书。
"But you're selling books, so how come you haven't read the books? How could it be?"
自己却没有读过书，可以吗？好了，这个直言回答。
And then the employee replied,
当药剂师，那个药房里面的所有的药你都吃过吗？
"You're a pharmacist, and have you taken all the medicines inside your pharmacy?"
所以有时候我们要责备人的时候。
So before you blame someone, think about it.
是不是同样犯了这个毛病？
So have you
很容易犯。
have you
非常容易犯毛病。
made mistakes?
其实这个
It's very easy for human beings to make mistakes,
我们的领悟。
you know,
当
or
你学佛以后，你是用
to be sick.
心情来学佛。
So after studying Buddhism, you know what kind of attitude, what kind of mindset you have. And then once you gain enlightenment, then you will not blame it on other people.
很多人的心里都是有病。
And you know that many people have problems or ailments with their mind or emotion. So they don't have physical sicknesses, but they have mental sicknesses. And these sicknesses can only be cured with Bodhidharma.